I think a lot. I think that companies depend upon it now. I mean, the thing is, most companies occasionally have a good idea. It's how they started. But these days, that's not enough. You need to be able to have ideas almost on demand. You need to have a constant flow of them, and that means you need to cultivate it deliberately. It's what I mean by culture of innovation. And a lot of companies that have been very successful, they don't leave that to chance. I mean, if you look at the serial innovators, like Apple is a good example, a lot of the big media companies, they have a process, they have a system, they have routines where they make it their business to come up with ideas, to test them out, to prototype them. So it's not an impossible thing to do, but it's an incredibly important thing to do now. Yes, it is possible to teach people to be more creative. It depends what you mean by teach, of course. But if you think of teaching as just the direct transmission of information, it's not like that. But teaching is more than that. Teaching is about creating conditions where people want to learn and supporting them and mentoring them to do it. It's like if you're learning a language. The best way to do that is to be immersed in the culture where it's happening. And failing that, you want to be with a teacher who understands the difficulties that you're having, gives you frameworks and structures and tips and techniques and corrects your course and facilitates it. That's how I think of teaching. It's facilitating learning. And as long as you understand what creativity is, yes, you can make people better at it. It's a process. We know a bit about how that process works. For example, often in creative work, the idea you start out with is not the one you finish with. It evolves as you work on it. It's a matter of dealing with false starts, drafting and redrafting. Creative processes depend upon generating ideas, but they also depend on evaluating them to see if they're any good. So knowing what type of critical judgments to apply. And also, there are common blocks that people have when they try and come up with new ideas. I mean, for example, if you're working on a creative idea, you have to accept what people give you. If you're working in a team, I always think of improv, that point of view. If you're in an improv session, the whole point is to accept what people give and build on it and not deny it and go off on some improv of your own. So if two actors walk onto a stage and one says, isn't this a lovely day at the beach? And the other one says, well, we're not at the beach, we're on the bus stop. That's the end of that, thank you very much. But if somebody comes on and says, isn't this a lovely day at the beach? And the other one says, yes, but what an odd place to have a bus stop. Then you've got something. So being open to possibilities and knowing what blocks new ideas is part of it too. So yes, there are techniques you can practice, learn, and you can apply them.